The TT is Audi's entry-level sports car. It's the smallest coupe in the lineup and comes in 3 different iterations. You have the base TT, the mid-level TTS, and the top-of-the-line TTRS. Today we are driving this 2016 TTS. 2016 is the year they introduced their model refresh, so this is the latest generation car. And if we talk basic powertrain stuff, the TTS comes with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and this car makes 292 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, powers into all 4 wheels via quattro all-wheel drive. This powertrain might sound a little bit familiar because it's the same one that's found in the other Volkswagen family vehicles, the Golf R and the Audi S3. It feels very similar when you're driving, acceleration-wise, stuff like that, because it is a very similar powertrain. So I've driven both those vehicles, the latest Mark 7 Golf R and an Audi S3. I like the Golf R a lot. The Audi S3 I was less impressed with, so I'm really interested to see how this TTS feels. From initial driving perspectives, let's get some of the numbers out of the way. I've already mentioned the horsepower level. 0 to 60 happens in just over 4 seconds. I think it's quoted at like 4.2. Weight is around 3,200 pounds, so low 3,000s range. And overall, it feels, again, in a straight line acceleration-wise, it sounds and feels very similar to the Golf R and the Audi S3. But like handling-wise, it's a little bit more nimble. It's a smaller little coupe. It's supposed to be a little more sporty. And the way you sit, the whole driving position and impression you get is a little more of a, again, sports car-oriented vehicle. Exterior styling, I like this generation TT a lot. I think it's the first one I actually even liked. The older ones, my biggest complaint was they looked very rounded and bubbly, and they always look like they look the same coming towards you as they do go away. It was like symmetric, the back and the front, like the same shape and size and everything. With this latest generation, it's iterating the newest Audi design language. It's a lot sharper, a lot pointier. The newest LED headlights, taillights, everything. It's a lot more angled and stuff like that. I think it's a good-looking car. It truly does look like a little baby R8, actually. So the owner of this car, their family also has a new latest generation R8, and parked next to each other, you can really see the family resemblance. It looks like a baby R8. Dimension-wise, it is a smaller little coupe, so compared to the S3 and the Golf R, you would lose out maybe the practicality. But again, if you're shopping for a TT, you want the sports car. You're not really as much interested in the practical hatchback or sedan type of look. The interior of this generation TTS is where I am most impressed. With the S3, one of my chief complaints was it always felt a little bit cheap and not quite as nice for the money. So they both have the newest virtual cockpit system, which is amazing. So again, you'll notice there's no center screen anymore at all. Most of these vehicles will have a center display screen here. They control via like an MMI or iDrive knob. With the latest generation cars, it's all in the middle now. It's the entire virtual cockpit that you can scroll through. The whole thing can become your maps, navigation. You can swap through all the different menus, big tachometers right in the middle, and it kind of dominates it. It makes it feel very, very modern and futuristic. But it doesn't stop there. That's like, in some of the cars, like the highlight is just virtual cockpit. No, this steering wheel is really nice. The buttons and the layout and everything, the size of it. And then, this might be kind of funny, but my main, like the thing that I like the most about this TTS interior are these air vents. I think these are the coolest air vents I've seen. So they've got the big note rotating on the outside. Inside have a little display screen, like I'm messing with the temperature right now, and also they're like buttons too. So like the heated seat one right here, you can press it to change and turn on or turn off your heated seat. You can turn the knob. I mean, these are really, really cool. If you ever get in a TT or a TTS, play with the air vent knobs. They're really nice. Materials seem nice. It's a lot of leather and cross-stitching. The silver trim, I kind of wish it was carbon fiber, but I mean, well, whatever. That's not a huge deal. This has the upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system. The quilted red seats look really upscale and nice. I mean, it looked like they could have come straight out of any RS model or an R8 or something like that. Spacious. It's pretty good visibility. I'm comfortable in these front seats. The back seats are, I mean, there's vestigial. I don't know why they're back. They're essentially like luggage holders. Not really that useful. Decent sized trunk. Overall, I am very impressed with how they executed this interior. It feels nice and open, but sporty at the same time, with some really premium touches and just innovative new things that I really haven't seen in the rest of the lineup. It feels distinctly Audi of the latest generation, but I am very impressed with it. More about what it's like to drive. The power level that it's at is a nice sweet spot. Acceleration-wise, pulling on the freeway, 0 to 60, it feels quick. It pulls nicely. The 6-speed dual clutch transmission shifts very nice. Makes some nice sounds. I'm assuming some of it's going to be induction faked through, possibly assisted through the speakers. I don't know exactly, but it's a good sounding 4-cylinder. And overall, I mean, it's quick. Handling-wise, it feels nimble. I don't really love the steering. It feels kind of just loose and way too light, even in full dynamic mode. Now, some automakers seem to think, Audi especially, more weight equals just better fuel, but regardless in this car, I don't really love the communication, but you can still feel like you placed the car where you want it to go. I can imagine this would be fun. Autocrossing is the perfect dimensions for that. Around like if you're trying to compare up to some of the more higher powered vehicles, it won't be able to match up from that perspective. We talk about value. So again, 2016, this car was used, purchased with about 13,000 miles on it for a price right around 40 grand. Sticker price, I think the TTS is 9 grand more than a TT. And so I think they stickered for a 58, 60, somewhere around that range. So obviously depreciation occurs. For around 40 grand, that's a pretty good deal, because if you think about the other little sporty two-seater, sporty two-door sports cars, premium vehicles like this, you have the 2 Series from BMW, Mercedes, I guess you can say the CLA, that doesn't come in a 2-door only. Let's see, Porsche with the Boxster came in, but that's a lot more money. It's appealing if you want the all-wheel drive, if you love the Audi family, the technology, this offers a lot of great technology. And it's fun to drive. Personally, from a driving dynamics perspective, the Porsches definitely excite me a little bit more. I think they're a bit better, but the fact is they're going to be a lot more expensive. A Cayman might start at a price comparable to this, but there's no way you would ever come off the lot with a Cayman for 60 grand. They're like option up to insanity. Obviously, they will depreciate. You can get used ones. I like the 2 Series a lot. The M235i, I loved it a lot. That felt a little more playful, more fun, although the one I drove was a rear-wheel drive version. The Audi is a good package. It's all around a little more well-rounded in every single aspect. It doesn't really stand out to me extremely, extremely nice in one perspective. Beyond the interior, I'm really impressed with this interior, actually. So at the end of the day, value-wise, I'd say it's a good value. I think it's a lot better than all the previous generation TTs, which I just have never been a fan of any of them, mainly because of the styling. They just look like weird little bubble wheels cars. I don't know. But the TTS is cool. I would love to drive a TTRS. I've heard great things about that 5-cylinder, an extra like 100 horsepower. That would be pretty cool. Overall, I guess my verdict, comparing this to the S3, I think the TTS is a lot better. Assuming you don't need a real backseat or a 4-door like a Golf R hatchback or practicality, if you're just looking for a fun-to-drive car on this platform, I think the TTS wins in terms of it's a little more fun to drive. It obviously looks a little more sporty, and I think the interior is way nicer. This is the one I'd go with. Hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for watching.